What's howling, everybody? I'm Batwolf, and welcome to another episode of Art Time. Everybody has their favorite superheroes and matchups. My favorite is Batman and Spider-Man. With DC and Marvel planning another crossover event, I pray that these two meet to either team up or have a versus battle. In the meantime, I thought that it would be epic to bring this matchup through a variety of versions of these characters. With the geek facts out of the way, let us begin.
Tell me what's going on. I need your help.
You must help yourself. Look.
First, we begin with some of the most beloved version of these characters, the Batman and Spider-Man from the 90s animated series. Spider-Man giving us one of the best structure of stories and team-ups with Christopher Daniel Barnes as our Peter Parker.
What? Spider-Man? Where?
Also giving us the animated superpower of Batman with episodes that have more in common with films than they do with the average Saturday morning cartoons. Of course portrayed by the legend who most view as the voice of Batman, the late Kevin Conroy.
I am Batman!
With all of these drawings, I wanted them to be authentic as possible. So I drew Batman with an old comic brush to match with the Art Deco style. I also included for Spider-Man the same webbing pattern, and to make sure that this Spider-Man wasn't too small because, the animated series Spider-Man is particularly jacked. I finished it off with the combinations of colors to show off the dark and seriousness of this Batman and the epic spider sense scenes that we see in the animated Spider-Man show. With that, this first design was finished. While these two revolutionized the animated worlds, we have to talk about the films that did the same.
You wanted me. Here I am.
I guess you haven't heard. I'm the sheriff around these parts.
When you close your eyes, who do you see as Batman and Spider-Man? For so many people, these two are the versions that we see as our heroes. While they are not traditionally the most comic accurate, Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi gave us the best on-screen depiction of Peter Parker and immortalized the saying,
"With great power comes great responsibility."
While Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan emphasized the importance of the Batman's no-kill rule.
No guns, no killing.
Also having the best on-screen Bruce Wayne. Instead of showing these two mid-fight, I wanted to capture the moment that these two met. Batman captures Spider-Man's attention by lighting his flaming bat symbol on the back of the Chrysler Eagle. For Spider-Man, it was a little challenging going over all of the individual lines for his webbing, but I have to say I'm really glad I did it because it really matched to get that Raimi authenticity. Of course, his lenses are also very important, as it's a true staple to Maguire's look. For Bale, I did my best to capture his look in The Dark Knight, by adding the body armor and the egg-like shape helmet. I wanted to make the setting at night because I thought it matched with their characters much better, and it made their costumes look so much cooler. While I do wish I took more time with the city in the background, the piece looked great and brought these cinema icons to life. Now that we've looked at a motion picture, let's dive back into the world of animation, but fast forward to the early 2000s.
I mean, you are celebrating Halloween in September, right?
In 2004, the Batman animated series dropped the first episode, The Bat in the Belfry, and was unfortunately looked at as the other Batman series. With Rino Romano as this version of Batman, it wasn't the most loved series because it had such a different takes on the characters that we were used to. But it had such a unique style, flow, and absolutely killer action sequences.
I'm the Batman.
Meanwhile, Marvel Sony dropped Spectacular Spider-Man Episode 1, Survival of the Fittest in 2008. This show also had a unique style, but for the most part translated comic book stories and relationships in a way that most people looked at this version of the hero as a blueprint of the story. Not to mention the fantastic performance from Josh Keaton as our Spectacular Spider-Man.
What do I win?
You!
I win me? That makes no sense.
First, I wanted to establish their poses for this epic clash. I then made sure that the lining was drawn with the same angles and style as the animations. In order to shave them, I gave them both a base color and a separate layer to give them the more darker colors. This works so well to give Batman his famous black and blue cape, and Spider-Man's different shades of red and blues. This was by far my favorite design of the three. I was jumping in between which one I liked more, whether it was this Batman or this Spider-Man. For example, I just loved how stretchy the webbing looked, and the glow and the sharpness of the batarangs. Lastly, I made the city in the background with a purple color to complement the colors of our heroes, and with a nice sunset background, placing Spider-Man in the light and Batman, of course, in the shadows. And here we have the final piece with the Batman and the Spectacular Spider-Man. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this art matchup, feel free to let me know which was your favorite, who would win in each of these fights, and the Batman-Spider-Man fight pieces you would like to see next. I, for one, would love an excuse to work on the Arkham Batman versus Insomniac Spider-Man design. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to be in touch with what we do on the Batwolf Enterprises channel. That said, this is Batwolf, howling out.